This is Dr. Ataria from Health Series with Dr. Ataria. Here with me is Dr. George, a medical practitioner, and he will be here to enlighten us about anxiety. Dr. George, please can you introduce yourself to us?
Hello everyone, my name is George Wainitari. I work in Nigeria Delta University. I'm a general practitioner. I'm a lover of life and one that believes life should be lived purposefully and truly.
Okay. Dr. George, thank you so much for being with us in this mental series. Today we're talking about anxiety. So can you please enlighten us about anxiety? What exactly is anxiety? Every day we hear people say, this girl, she's so anxious. That boy, he has anxiety problem. Can you please enlighten the public? Let us know exactly what anxiety is.
Well, anxiety is something common and every living human has it. It's simply fear or nervousness that something might happen. Or another way to put it is to say it's fear or nervousness when one anticipates an ill in the future.
Okay, that's good. So what is anxiety and what anxiety is not? Anxiety disorder and anxiety, are they actually the same thing or they are different entities?
Okay. The anxiety and anxiety disorder, they are different entities in terms of the level. Anxiety disorder is on a whole other level, whereas anxiety is something that is common to everyone. And would say simple way to look at anxiety disorder is they are referred to as abnormal states in which physical and mental features are seen. For example, mental features like fearful anticipation, nervousness, restlessness, sensitivity to sound, poor concentration. These are features that are mental that characterize an anxiety disorder. The physical symptoms are symptoms that one can relate to a particular system in the body. For example, with the heart, the cardiovascular system, the person would be having palpitations rather. That means one can be aware that his heart is beating. One can have that. If you look at the respiratory system, for example, one will feel a constriction in the chest and difficulty in breathing. With the gastrointestinal system or the digestive system, some of the features that can be seen will be difficulty with swallowing. So epigastric discomfort, discomfort around the abdominal area where the stomach lies. Yes, one can have that. There could also be tremors. One could have tremors or muscle tension, even headache. So these are some of the physical symptoms, and then the mental, as aforementioned, that when these are predominant or prescribed in a person, you say that person has an anxiety disorder.
Okay.
And as such, having this would thus affect the person's individual to live in his day-to-day activity at work, at home, or interacting with peers.
So you're saying when anxiety can be normal, or when you start interacting with your day-to-day living, like every day you're anxious about every particular thing, that is an anomaly?
Yes, an anomaly, yes it is.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So what are these symptoms, like you've mentioned a few? What are the signs and symptoms that people see every day that will make them say they have an anxiety disorder and want to seek help? What are they exactly?
Okay. I said some are mental and some are physical. The mental, they are fearful anticipation of something that's going to happen in the future. Restlessness, the person is becoming restless. Poor concentration, one finds that the person finds it very hard to concentrate on something for a particular period of time without having wandering thoughts and all.
Okay.
Worrying thoughts is also another one too. So these are some mental features that one could see and realize, oh, there's an anxiety involved. And then I said some features restricted to the system. For example, I said respiratory system. One would have a constriction, like a tightening in constriction in the
That
chest.
you can't breathe.
Yeah.
It's more like a panic something. You're having a panic disorder or something.
No. Panic disorder is a kind of anxiety disorder. When I say constriction, I'm referring to a symptom, for example. So it feels like, if the simplest way to put it feels like
You can't breathe.
It feels like if there's a space in your chest, constriction in the chest feels like that space is
Tighten.
yes, gradually becoming narrower and narrower and narrower.
Oh.
So difficulty in breathing. Person might have the heart's awareness of one's heartbeats. Like I said, difficulty with swallowing, discomfort around the one's stomach, headache, muscle tremors, tension, even excessive urination too. Are some of those features that I would say when you have all of this.
Okay, most people think this topic is not very important whenever they hear anxiety. They be like, it's normal, everybody is anxious, like it's normal. But actually, it's not normal when it becomes excessive and when it becomes controls your life. Like you don't get to do the things you do because you're anxious about what people will think, how people are going to react. You're so worried about people's perception about the things that you do, and you don't live your life to the fullest. When it gets to that point, it is a problem and it's good to seek help. So Dr. George, can you please explain to us, does this anxiety have benefits in life? Because some people will say, if you have a very important task coming up, like let's say writing an exam and you're not anxious, that is abnormal because you're supposed to be anxious because it boosts you, like make you read more. So would you say anxiety has benefits in our lives?
Okay. Anxiety disorder itself, because it's a disorder, doesn't necessarily have benefits. Because when you look at anxiety disorder, examples, we think of things like a generalized anxiety disorder, a panic disorder, specific phobias. For example, someone has fear of dogs, fear of cats, fear of flying, and stuffs like that.
Yeah, especially I've heard of that one a lot. People are really scared of going into the plane. I don't know, they feel like they're going to crash from bad experiences or something.
So this as a whole, or obsessive compulsive disorder, you can think of, this doesn't necessarily have benefits. Perhaps maybe one may think, for example, having an OCD may be beneficial because those kind of persons, they are always very neat and want to keep a place tidy and
always
stuff.
Get things done on time.
But when you look at the downside, some of these persons have trouble with interacting with people because of their excessive desire for a clean environment or perfection. So you may have trouble interacting. But anxiety, as I said, not the disorder itself, is beneficial in a way, in that you never want to see a fearless individual. Truth is, fear makes us feel alive. Imagine if we could wake up tomorrow and realize that we feared nothing. Life would, in a way, lose its savor. That uncertainty that comes with having this anxiety, sort of in a way, as long as it's under control, it's, I can say, adds savor to one's life, flavor to one's life.
That's your first. Okay, so if you would say that, like, so how do somebody who has an anxiety problem, how do this person deal with anxiety? Do they have to take long-term medications, or there are some behavioral therapies that the person can take, without having to, go to the hospital? As in, the best advice is actually to see a health professional. But if they are, scared to talk about it, scared to let people know that this is actually a problem, how do you think they can be helped through this video?
Okay, like you had said, it bears repetition. Oftentimes, rather, the best solution would be to seek professional help when it comes to this, and there are several means to help one out for person who has anxiety disorder, some of which include medications, like you had mentioned, medications that will help to calm a person rather. There are procedures we refer to as cognitive behavioral therapy. There's also self-help, and then there are others that I will put them in miscellaneous because they are something common that everyone can actually do and have easily begin to see results in a short period of time. Self-help, for example, reading does help a lot with anxiety or dealing with anxiety disorders, and both written and electronic. You get to hear the perspective of others who have passed through similar challenges, because there are lots of celebrities and some very powerful individuals who have some of these problems, like panic disorders, for example, or agoraphobia, fear of open places. There are many persons who have this. When you get to read their take on the disorder and how they learn to live life with the disorder, in spite of the disorder, it helps a lot. So knowing that you're not the only one in the world with this problem, it helps. Cognitive behavioral therapy, usually run by a therapist, someone who is proficient, for example, a clinical psychologist, also helps too. In a way, they are trying to fashion one's mind and thought process so that one can be able to navigate one's way through this disorder itself. Relaxation is also very important, like very common amongst us is meditation techniques. You see amongst Eastern meditation. Oftentimes people think, when they think of meditation, they think of
yoga,
gurus. They think of gurus
exactly.
and then candlelight, yes, and chanting. But meditation doesn't have to be always that way. Sometimes it may just be as simple as controlling one's breathing, like breathing in and out deeply. Inhale 3 times, exhale 3 times, something like that. They really do help. Now, for something that one can do every day, day to day, for very simple ones. For example, one very simple one you can do immediately is contact, physical contact. A hug can do a lot. A hug from a close friend or from someone close, it helps a lot. It could help to allay one's fears.
A hug.
Yes, a hug. Hug is very important.
So can I hug you now? Because right now I'm even scared. So I'm anxiety. So probably the hug will allay my anxiety a bit. So more like oxytocin contact kind of. Okay.
But viewers not
hormone.
Yes, but viewers not this short anyway. It should be longer for a better effect.
Okay.
It should be longer for a better effect. That's one thing that someone could do. Now there was this study on happiness, that because happiness and anxiety are somewhat related. The more anxious a person is, the less likely the person would be happy. So one thing they found out, amongst other things, is that having meaningful relationships does help. It's good to have that one person or two person with whom we feel most at peace with.
Okay.
Someone, like I say, that you can. I love saying that you can afford to be naked, emotionally, spiritually, or physically with, and not feel like rushing to dash for the clothes, sort of to cover up. It's good to have that close contact with whom you could share one's life goals and dreams and even fears with. Another that helps a lot is having purpose. Purpose-driven life is wonderful. It's always good to wake up in the morning with a drive to want to do something, and especially good to have goals that push oneself to that purpose. And importantly, it's good to realize that, especially if this purpose is some of your goals rather contributive, a good percentage of it should be, not all of them should be just for the self. It helps a lot. When you have purpose, you look at challenges that come your way with a different light. If you have 1,000 persons, your dream is to take off 1,000 persons off the road, or to end poverty in a way in your community.
That's one of the Millennium Development Goals, and I think they are still on it till now.
If that's possible, if you could do that. If you have a challenge today, you wouldn't want to give up, because you see that, you realize that giving up would mean those 1,000 children, for example, wouldn't see a brighter future without you. So it gives you the need to want to push forward. Yeah, that's the word. Another very important one is comparison. We know that social media is both good and can also be seen as a disease, we say. So it's good to not compare, to realize that no one has your timeline. There's never been a you before, and there will never be a you. So realize that even though you can look at others as examples, realize that in the end of the day, you get to define what's success for you. It shouldn't be what someone else defines as success. It shouldn't be 10 Rolls Royces in your backyard or a duplex or a mansion. As long as you've lived your life in a way that you have impacted one's life, in a way put your foot in the sands of time, your life is deemed to be successful.
Okay, that's a good one. So, Dr. George, let it not be as if we're trying to paint our viewers as the anxious people, because we are all humans, and whether you like it or not, we have been anxious one time or the other in our lives. So can you please tell us some maybe 2 scenarios in your life where you have been anxious? Let it feel as if it's a normal thing. Let people start seeing that mental problems are actually normal and many people suffer from it. You're not alone.
When I was much younger in primary school, I was so anxious when talking with people, especially in front of people, that I would start to stammer. Seriously, I'd find it would be very troublesome finding the right words to use. And unsurprisingly, the fear of public speaking is said to be the number one fear. People don't even have that fear, even more than the fear
Even
of
the
death.
people that speak on public, they even have that public problem. Yeah.
Another, I was anxious about. In fact, growing up, I would say I was a fearful kid. I was scared of the dark. I was scared of dogs.
I'm scared of dogs.
Yeah, I was scared of interacting with women. I couldn't have eye to eye contact like I can do right now.
Oh, really?
Without having
Okay.
tremors, without shaking, and I just be praying at the back of my mind that she doesn't see me shaking. I remember I couldn't sing even one or two lines talking together. I would say, I wish you could look at me and just know what's in my heart.
Aww.
So I had many of these things growing up as a child, as a kid, but I learned to overcome many of them.
Okay.
With some of the things I'd explained earlier.
Okay, that's good. So we're going to end with a statement. Actually, it has a point to say, but before that, there's a statement someone said. The person said, whatever it is that anything worth doing first is worth doing badly, because you're not sure about how it's going to turn out. It's fine. It's okay if it's going to, downcast. If it's going to, plummet up, it's okay. Whatever way it goes, as long as you take that bold step to do something first, to do it, even if it's not perfect, it's okay. There's nobody that is perfect. We're not expecting what you do to be perfect. If you want to go for that exam, go for it. If you feel fine, there are other opportunities. It's not the end of the world. Don't be anxious about it. Prepare, believe that you can do it, and you will do it. If you want help, you can ask for professional help, from doctors, and you will be helped. You can get self-help from groups, there are centers that can help you. So Dr. George, please, can you tell us that wonderful poem that you wanted to tell our viewers?
Okay, while reading some while ago, I came across Anxious for Nothing by Max Lucado, and I saw something very wonderful about anxiety that helps a lot. It says, "Today I will live today. Yesterday has passed. Tomorrow is not yet. I'm left with today. So today, I will live today. Relive yesterday? No. I will learn from it. I will seek mercy for it. I will take joy in it, but I won't live in it. The sun has set on yesterday. The sun has yet to rise on tomorrow. Worry about the future? To gain what? It deserves a glance, nothing more. I can't change tomorrow until tomorrow. Today, I will live today. I will face today's challenges with today's strength. I will dance today's waltz with today's music. I will celebrate today's opportunities with today's hope. Today, may I laugh, listen, learn, and love. And tomorrow, if it comes, may I do so again."
Oh my God. That is beautiful.
Thank
Please,
you.
that is amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. George. We are really happy to have you here with us. We wish to see you next time again to enlighten us about some other mental issues that we feel are worthy for people to know about. So this is a wrap for us with Health Series with Dr. Ataya. Please like our channel, subscribe. You can share to your friends to view. You can follow us on Instagram at Health Series 20. Follow us on Twitter at Health Series 20. Until next time, this is Health Series with Dr. Ataya, bringing health just right in front of your screen. Thank you.